can avoid everything egg-related except mayonnaise. It's also dependent on the price of the mayonnaise as well.
Even if the mayonnaise was shocking, it cost them everything that they have.
I wasn't expecting to be questioned.
That was worse than the thing I thought.
It hardly affects me.
Yes, there is a good way to kill me.
How does it make you feel, this kind of footage?
I wasn't expecting to be questioned, though.
You don't have to have a conversation.
It's bad practice.
Would you believe it's RSPCA approved, free range and organic?
Shouldn't be.
Do you think there's a good way to kill somebody who doesn't want to die?
That is not something that I should be deciding.
But you're right, we shouldn't have the decision to take someone's life, right? Are you currently paying for this?
Can't tell, probably.
Yeah, if you're not vegan, you pay. Do you eat animals at the moment? You do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you against animal abuse?
Yeah.
Do you think you can be against animal abuse if you're directly paying for it?
Something I've considered, but
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I sort of. So I just read forcible impregnation.
Yeah, they rape the animals.
Yeah.
Because such a high demand for meat, eggs, dairy, fish, leather, wool, they have to breed these animals into existence, forcibly breed them, because they kill 80 billion land animals every single year just for a sandwich. These are the baby pigs in the pork industry.
Yeah.
What do you think they do with them if they're not growing big enough, quick enough?
I assume they just let them starve or something.
They actually have a term called knocking, where they'll pick them up from the back legs and smash their head on the floor. Or on a lunch bar or something.
That was worse than the thing I thought, so.
This is it. They just treat them like nothing. Just because they're born a pig and weren't grown quick enough. This is the teeth clipping and the tail cutting, because they're put into such confinement, they tend to cannibalise each other. They just cut their tails off with scissors. How do you think they kill pigs in the UK?
I know in some places they do it with electricity.
Yeah, some places, a small amount do that.
I wouldn't know.
I don't know much.
Gas chambers. When was the last time you heard about gas chambers?
Coincidentally, yesterday.
These pigs are 6 months old. Do you think that's worth a sandwich? Putting a 6-month-old little baby into a gas chamber? They burn from the inside out. And the RSPCA approved it. And they actually make money off every individual sold. They used to say these pigs just fall asleep until activists put cameras inside to expose the truth.
I was wondering where the cameras came from.
Yeah, brave activists get inside and put them in there and leave them and then collect them later. Do you think there's a good way to kill somebody who doesn't want to die?
I'm luckily not in the position to decide that.
I suppose it depends on what you mean by good.
Is there a good way to kill you if you didn't want to die? You'd want to live, right?
Kinda, but yeah, my thought is no. But technically, yes, there is a good way to kill me, but it's not. It's
There isn't.
there's an efficient way to kill me, but,
What
that's not what you meant. Yeah.
What about if there's an option where we didn't kill you and you would live?
Yeah, I prefer that.
Yeah. Do you think the animals would prefer that?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
This is chickens bred for the meat industry. They're forced to grow into bodies of an adult size within about 42 days.
Yeah.
They get so big they can't stand up, their legs break. They've been modified to grow this big because obviously people then want to get the most amount of meat off them. And this is free range.
I learned of this in food tech or
Did you?
something.
I've seen a graph of genetic modification of chicken, and I think in the last, it's half a century, maybe a bit longer than that. I don't know when the graphic came out. I don't know if it was fully accurate.
Yeah.
But I think they've grown several times in volume.
Yeah. How does this make you feel?
I mean, I don't like watching it. That's
It's not pleasant, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Horrible. How about you?
It's not good that it's happening.
How does it make you feel to know that you're paying for this?
It hardly affects me.
Doesn't it affect you?
Yeah.
Really? Even though you're against animal abuse?
If there were better regulations in hand where I'd be able to know where the money I spend goes to, I'd be able to make a bigger difference with the way I spend. I can't tell whether I am or am not supporting some of these practices when I get meat products.
If you eat animals, you're supporting somebody killing someone else, right? That's like a fact. And that's why I said to you about, do you think there's a good way to kill someone who doesn't want to die? Because this is standard practice. This is the best practice. Like, this standard practice, top regulations, and it's shocking, right? I would say there is no good way to kill someone who wants to live. Because if you're in the victim's position, would you want to be free? Or would you accept someone saying, well, I don't really care about it, I don't really feel anything towards you? Because we don't have to even like animals to think they're a sentient being, they should be free. Like, they should have the right to their own life, right? Do you think you have to eat animals?
There are other methods of getting protein.
A lot of our foods are just kind of, we have days in a row where we just kind of have pizza and garlic bread on its own. Quite a lot of our meals are just, I mean, that's got cheese on it, of course.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked up on that. I was going to say.
Vegetarian, at least.
You can live without causing harm to these animals, right?
Yeah.
It comes down to then a choice. Would you rather choose to pay for these innocent babies to be killed for you, or would you rather choose to live vegan and not pay for it anymore?
I feel one of the thoughts I had before is that the product is on the shelf already, so it feels like a waste not to get it. But it's one of those things where I'd probably just have to consider a lifestyle change.
Do you know what supply and demand is?
Yeah,
So
when you buy it, they'll create more of it to match the people buying it.
You got it.
So buying it, even though it would have gone to waste, makes them supply more of it.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah, you're creating a demand so that then they force more animals into existence to kill them for you.
Yeah.
It only happens because people are trying to make money from these animals. So it's a business. How do you think you can close a business down?
Not buying any of the products or
General
supporting it.
boycott.
That's it.
Stuff like that.
And that's what vegans just boycott these industries because we don't agree with them. We don't think that animals should be killed.
Yeah.
When you can live without doing that.
Yeah.
This is the egg industry. What do you think they do with the male chicks in the egg industry? Because they don't produce eggs.
Well, I tell you, they're not a part of the male industry. Sorry, they're not a part of the egg industry. That's
Do you see that?
yeah.
Straight into a blender. Still with the eggshells. Day-old babies going into a blender because people pay for eggs. Do you think that's justified?
No. I mean, we don't usually eat many eggs actually, but
So it'd be quite easy then to not pay for it.
I can avoid everything egg-related except mayonnaise. But they do have good
Vegan
vegan
mayonnaise.
mayonnaise. It's
Yeah,
good.
vegan mayonnaise is nice.
Even if they
They're
didn't
getting
though.
better.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're really getting better.
Even if the mayonnaise was shocking
Yeah.
and you said, oh, I can't avoid it, do you think it's easier for you to just not pay for mayonnaise or for them to go into a blender?
But I feel it's also dependent on the price of the mayonnaise as well.
Do you think even if the mayonnaise was 50p more expensive, it costs them their life, right?
Yeah.
It costs them everything that they have. Whereas for you can choose whether you just get it or not. But if you get it, you pay for that.
50p is fine.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, 50p extra is fine for vegan mayonnaise. I don't mind that.
Yeah, and even if I couldn't afford it, I just wouldn't pay for it because I'm against animal abuse.
Yeah.
Like I said before, have you been against everything you've seen on that screen?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so how now justify paying for any animal products when you can choose not to?
There's not really too much justification of,
Is there any?
I don't know. I don't want to say there isn't any.
What is the
Just-
justification?
Well, I can't think of any, but there.
Why are you trying so hard to think of a justification to keep animals in slaughterhouses?
I'm not thinking of a justification. I just
Okay.
don't want to judge people that might have a valid reason to do so. I can't think of
What
a
about
valid reason.
for you guys though? Because we've got to take personal accountability, right? Like when I saw it, I took my own personal accountability. I was heartbroken that I paid for it, which is why I'm not judging you guys. I'm just trying to find out and like help the animals because most people don't know what happens. And when they do find out, you think most people say they're against animal abuse, and then they're like, oh yeah, but I like the taste. And then we always say it's taste. Would you value taste over someone's life? What would stop you? What would stop you?
I've seen several demonstrations like this and nothing stopped me. So
Really?
I don't really know.
Can I ask if you were the victim and you were the pig about to go into a gas chamber and someone on the outside was saying, well, don't it, like nothing's really stopped me yet. What would you want someone to say to you?
I don't know.
And they had an option not to pay for that.
Yeah, again, it's just something I've not really thought of too much. I don't
Yeah.
have the words for now. But it's one of those things where, I don't know, we've been vegetarians before.
Yeah. Well, vegetarians still pays.
pescatarians, but
Remember, vegetarians is not good for the animals. It still pays for male calves to be killed in the dairy industry, the mothers to be raped, baby after baby taken for just a glass of milk. And the egg industry, you saw the egg industry. Cows are really maternal, so when you take their baby, have maternal trauma, like just like we would if someone stole our baby. Do you think taking someone's baby away from them, killing their baby, and drinking their breast milk intended for a baby is worth cow's milk and cheese?
I'd say no. I got to check the time. Sorry.
That's all right, no worries. What I'll do, you've stayed it for a long time, you watched the footage, and I appreciate your time. I'll give you this card and take a look together. On there's something called the best speech you'll ever hear. I really recommend you watching it because I think it'll answer a lot of your how and why questions. But just remember, the whole time you're not vegan, you're paying directly for these animals to go to slaughter for you. And you can change that right now. You have so much power with your money. All right, thank you so much for talking to me. Have a good day. Bye.